Welcome to our journey through the fascinating history of basketball's most mesmerizing skill, the art of dribbling. Throughout the long and storied history of the National Basketball Association, few skills have captivated audiences quite like the ability to manipulate the basketball with seemingly supernatural control, the graceful yet powerful movements, the rhythmic bouncing of the ball against the hardwood, and the creative expression that comes with elite ball handling have become central to the game we love today. When we observe the evolution of dribbling in basketball, we witness not just athletic innovation, but cultural transformation as well. The dribble wasn't always the dynamic, creative element of basketball that we recognize today. In the early days of the sport, invented by Dr. James Naismith in 1891, dribbling was initially quite restricted and considered merely a way to advance the ball when passing wasn't possible. Players were required to pass the ball after dribbling, creating a stop-and-start flow that bears little resemblance to the fluid game we know today. It wasn't until 1901 that continuous dribbling was officially permitted, opening the door for the development of more sophisticated ball handling techniques. This fundamental change would gradually transform basketball from a predominantly pass-oriented game into one where individual creativity and ball control could shine. As professional basketball began to take shape in the mid-20th century, the importance of skilled ball handlers became increasingly apparent. The early NBA featured pioneering dribblers who laid the groundwork for generations to follow. Though their techniques would seem relatively basic by today's standards, players like Bob Cousy of the Boston Celtics, nicknamed the Houdini of the hardwood, revolutionized the game with behind-the-back passes and more advanced dribbling maneuvers than most players of his era. Cousy's ball-handling wizardry from the 1950s through the early 1960s demonstrated that dribbling could be both functional and entertaining, setting the stage for the artistic evolution that would follow in later decades. The cultural significance of elite dribbling extends far beyond mere basketball strategy. When we examine the most beloved players throughout NBA history, many achieved iconic status not just for winning championships or scoring points, but for the unique way they controlled the basketball and created moments of pure athletic artistry. These dribblers didn't just win games, they captured imaginations, inspired young players on playgrounds across the world, and added elements of creativity and individual expression that transformed basketball into a form of athletic art. Their legacy lives on every time a player performs a crossover, behind-the-back move, or any dribbling maneuver that leaves defenders frozen and spectators amazed. What makes great dribblers so captivating is their ability to combine technical skill with improvisational creativity. The best ball handlers possess an intuitive understanding of rhythm, timing, and misdirection that borders on performance art. They use the basketball as both tool and extension of themselves, manipulating defenders with subtle shifts in pace, direction, and body positioning. While great shooters might be measured by their percentages and great rebounders by their totals, great dribblers are often remembered for specific moments, those jaw-dropping instances where they made seemingly impossible moves look effortless. These magical moments of ball-handling brilliance have become some of the most shared and celebrated highlights in sports history. transcending the game itself to become cultural touchstones. The evolution of elite dribbling in the NBA took a significant leap forward in the 1970s and 1980s. Players like Nate, Tiny, Archibald, and Isaiah Thomas began implementing more creative dribbling techniques into their arsenals, using the basketball as both weapon and shield against increasingly sophisticated defenses. Tiny Archibald used his low dribble and quick hands to become the only player in NBA history to lead the league in both scoring and assists in the same season. Meanwhile, Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons elevated the point guard position with his exceptional ball control and ability to change speeds, making him nearly impossible to contain in the open court. These players weren't just facilitators. They were creators who could break down defenses at will through their masterful command of the basketball. The 1990s witnessed perhaps the most influential dribbler in basketball history emerge onto the scene. Allen Iverson revolutionized ball handling with his lightning-quick crossover that left defenders helpless, most famously crossing over Michael Jordan as a rookie in a moment that announced his arrival to the basketball world. Standing barely 6 feet tall, Iverson used his extraordinary dribbling skills to overcome his size disadvantage, penetrating the lane against much larger defenders with remarkable consistency. His cultural impact extended beyond the court, as his street ball-influenced style connected the NBA with hip-hop culture and inspired countless young players to develop their handle. The signature Iverson crossover became not just a basketball move, but a cultural phenomenon, representing the fusion of playground creativity with professional basketball. As we moved into the 2000s, players like Steve Nash and Chris Paul demonstrated that elite dribbling wasn't just about flash, but could be harnessed for maximum efficiency. Nash's impeccable control and court vision earned him back-to-back MVP awards with the Phoenix Suns, orchestrating one of the most potent offenses in NBA history. His ability to dribble in traffic while keeping his head up and reading defenses set a new standard for point guard play. Chris Paul, often called the point god, utilized his tight handle and basketball IQ to manipulate defenders and create opportunities for himself and teammates. Paul's masterful dribbling technique included the ability to change pace instantly, keeping defenders perpetually off balance and demonstrating how ball handling could be both artistic and strategically devastating. What makes these modern dribblers particularly special is how they've combined the technical fundamentals with creative innovation. James Harden developed his distinctive style around the step-back move, using his masterful dribbling to create separation for his deadly jump shot. His ability to change pace, coupled with exceptional footwork, made him one of the most unstoppable offensive forces of his generation. Similarly, Luka Doncic has emerged as a dribbling virtuoso despite lacking elite athletic traits, instead relying on timing, deception, and exceptional ball control to manipulate defenders. Damian Lillard's handle allows him to seamlessly transition from dribble moves into his trademark deep three-pointers, while Ja Morant uses his dribbling skills to set up explosive finishes at the rim. Each of these players has added their unique signature to the ever-expanding vocabulary of basketball dribbling. What makes elite dribblers so fascinating from an analytical perspective is how they combine several technical elements into a seamless, whole. The perfect dribbling technique involves precise hand placement, optimal ball control height, and masterful coordination between upper and lower body movements. Great dribblers typically maintain a low center of gravity, keeping the ball below hip level to minimize the distance between their hand and the floor. This lower dribble is more difficult for defenders to reach and provides greater control during complex maneuvers. The most skilled ball handlers also possess remarkable ambidexterity, displaying nearly equal proficiency with both hands, which prevents defenders from forcing them in a weaker direction. These fundamental techniques lay the groundwork for the more spectacular moves that captivate basketball fans worldwide. The science behind elite dribbling reveals fascinating insights into human performance. The best dribblers demonstrate exceptional proprioception, the body's ability to sense its position in space, allowing them to manipulate the ball without looking at it. This feel for the ball develops through thousands of hours of practice, creating neural pathways that make complex dribbling sequences appear effortless and instinctive. Research has shown that elite ball handlers process visual information more efficiently than average players, quickly identifying defensive positioning and making split-second decisions about which dribble move to employ. They also exhibit superior hand-eye coordination and fine motor control, with the ability to make minute adjustments to finger pressure and hand position that determine the ball's trajectory. These physiological advantages, combined with relentless practice, create the seemingly magical abilities we witness on the court. As you drift towards sleep, imagine the hypnotic rhythm of a basketball bouncing on hardwood, controlled by the skilled hands of a master. Consider how dribbling styles have been influenced by cultural and geographic factors throughout basketball history. New York City's playground basketball culture, with its emphasis on creative ball handling and one-on-one play, has produced countless dribbling innovators. The cramped courts of urban environments necessitated tighter handles and more creative solutions to navigate limited space. Meanwhile, European basketball traditionally emphasized team play and fundamentals, but players like Dragan Petrovic and later Tony Parker brought their unique dribbling styles to the NBA. The globalization of basketball has created a beautiful fusion of different approaches to ball handling, with techniques being shared across continents through television, internet videos, and international competition. The psychological aspect of elite dribbling represents one of its most fascinating dimensions. Great ball handlers don't just execute physical moves. They engage in complex mental warfare with defenders. The hesitation dribble, employed masterfully by players like Dwayne Wade and James Harden, creates momentary confusion in defenders' minds, forcing them to react to subtle body feints and changes in tempo. Elite dribblers maintain constant awareness of defensive positioning, instantly recognizing when a defender's weight is improperly distributed or when they've overcommitted in one direction. This mental acuity allows them to exploit these weaknesses with the appropriate dribble move. Additionally, the most skilled ball handlers possess exceptional patience and composure, handling intense defensive pressure without rushing or making mistakes. This psychological mastery, combined with physical skill, separates the truly great dribblers from those who merely have good technique. The impact of elite dribblers extends far beyond individual statistics or even team success. These players have fundamentally transformed how basketball is played, coached, and perceived around the world. The evolution from basic ball advancement to creative expression has paralleled basketball's growth from regional pastime to global phenomenon. Modern offenses now frequently feature isolation, plays designed specifically to showcase a player's dribbling ability, creating mismatches that defenses struggle to counter. Teams actively recruit and develop players with exceptional ball handling skills, recognizing their value in breaking down increasingly sophisticated defensive schemes. The emphasis on spacing in modern basketball provides more room for creative dribblers to operate, further highlighting their importance in today's game. The technological advances in basketball training have revolutionized how dribbling skills are developed and refined. Modern players have access to specialized dribbling coaches, advanced analytics that track hand movement and ball control, and innovative training tools designed specifically to improve handling skills. High-speed cameras can now capture the minutest details of dribbling technique, allowing players to make micro-adjustments that previous generations could only guess at. Virtual reality systems enable players to practice decision-making scenarios involving dribbling without physical exertion, accelerating the mental aspects of ball handling development. These technological innovations have contributed to the remarkable handling skills displayed by today's players, raising questions about what the future of dribbling might look like as training methods continue to evolve. As we look toward basketball's future, we can anticipate further evolution in dribbling techniques and applications. The increased emphasis on positionless basketball means more players of all sizes are developing advanced handling skills, expanding the creative possibilities on the court. We're already seeing forwards and centers implementing dribble moves that were once the exclusive domain of smaller guards. The globalization of basketball continues to bring diverse influences to the game, with players from different countries incorporating elements from their basketball cultures into new hybrid styles. Social media ensures that innovative dribbling techniques spread rapidly around the world, accelerating the evolution of ball handling in ways previously unimaginable. The fundamental joy of manipulating a basketball with skill and creativity ensures that dribbling will remain central to basketball's appeal for generations to come. As our journey through the history of basketball's greatest dribblers comes to a close, we can appreciate how these athletes have elevated a simple skill into an art form, from Bob Cousy's pioneering moves to Kyrie Irving's mind-bending combinations. The evolution of dribbling represents basketball at its most creative and expressive. The next time you watch a game, take a moment to appreciate the years of dedication behind each crossover, the split-second decisions that determine when to change direction, and the courage required to attempt difficult moves under pressure. Basketball dribbling, at its highest level, embodies the perfect marriage of athletic functionality and artistic expression. It reminds us why we fell in love with basketball in the first place, for those transcendent moments when human potential seems limitless when constraints fall away and pure creativity takes flight. In the hands of the greatest dribblers, a simple orange ball becomes an instrument of wonder, continuously redefining what we believe is possible.